Good morning, everyone. Janie here. Welcome back. I am actually at another plant store. What do you know? So I was on my way to Green Acres, another Green Acres, not the one I usually go to. And I took a wrong turn and I saw Home Depot. And I thought, oh, I'll check this Home Depot. I usually go to my Home Depot. It's a little bit like it's in a smaller town. I'm actually in Sacramento, and the Home Depot I usually go to is in a pretty small town. So I thought, okay, well, maybe they'll have some good stuff here. Sorry about the extra noise. There's so much good stuff here at this Home Depot. It's ridiculous. It is like so much better than my local Home Depot. So I have a cart full of stuff for the gated garden bed, and I'm super excited about it. Let me show you what I grabbed so far, and then I'll show you guys this Home Depot. It's really good. There's so much good stuff here. Okay, so here's my cart so far. You can see it's basically already full. So for the gated garden bed, I was looking for kind of calm, peaceful. Last year or 2 years ago, I put in a white verbena, and I really liked it, but it just wasn't speaking to me this year. So when I was here, I found, look at these, vinca. And now I have actually never grown vinca before. It is such a common annual. It's all over the place. I always see it at the stores, but I always see it in like the pinks and the reds and, the really bright colors. And they had just these flats of this beautiful, pure white vinca. So I think this is going to be gorgeous in the gated garden bed. I mean, it totally spoke to me, which is what I was hoping for when I went garden shopping the other day, and I just couldn't really find anything I liked. And this totally spoke to me. So I got all 3 flats of that. They're not too expensive. They're 6 packs and they're $4.48 each. So I don't know what that is, but it's not too bad. And then peonies. So I don't need this. I was trying to grow peonies just from the tubers. I think that's what you call it. I planted 5 and only 3 came up. And so I mean, how could I not? Look at these giant ones. So this one right here these are both 2 that I planted already. So this one is Shirley Temple. Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful. And then this one is Dr. Alexander Fleming. I can't remember if Shirley Temple has come up or not in my garden, but it's just kind of struggling. It's not doing very well. It's in my cottage garden. I know Dr. Alexander Fleming didn't come up, and I think this one is so pretty. And so when I saw it here, I thought, oh my goodness, I have to get it. $34.98 and $34.98 for the Shirley Temple. So I feel like this was just a good find. I'm going to plant it, and then I'm going to I'm zone 9B, and if they have them here at the garden center, I feel like they should come back next year. But what I'm going to do over the winter, I talked about this when I did a peony video way early in the season this year. I read an article about growing peonies in zone 9 and how you can put some ice. You can put like a pile of ice on the plants to give it enough chill time. So that's what I'm going to do for these 2. I will cut them back in November. So to encourage dormancy over the winter so that they can get enough energy so that they can bloom like crazy next spring. So that's my plan for these. So this is obviously not what I was looking for when I came here, but that's okay. But these are what I was looking for. I'm really excited about these. So the only other thing I'm looking for today, and it pains me to say it, but you guys all said it in the comments, and I was already thinking it when I was editing the video for the clean out of the gated garden bed, that Chinese fringe flower that I have there in the middle. It's not pulling its weight. It's the same thing as the dianthus that were there. Sometimes it looks really pretty and sometimes it looks terrible. So I kind of just feel like it's just not worth it to have that there if it just gives me some color, just in the early season. It pains me to say it, but I really do think I need to take it out. And a lot of you agreed in the comments section. So what I'm going to look for today is I'm going to look for some type of evergreen, something that's going to have 4 seasons of interest and be a really pretty, anchor piece right there. So I'm not quite seeing anything here, so I might still go to the Green Acres, but I'm just so happy I found this vinca. So let me quickly show you around the rest of this Home Depot. It's really nice. I cannot even tell you all how different this Home Depot is compared to my regular Home Depot. It's like 3, 4, 5 times the size. Beautiful plants, beautiful hydrangeas, beautiful petunias. I found this gorgeous mandevilla. I almost bought it. I just loved it so much. That color was striking right there. See if you guys can see the little blank spot I left from taking the 3 flats of vinca. Sorry, everybody who is shopping there in the future. And then I found this floss flower, which I just thought was so beautiful. I love that color in real life. Here are all the peonies that I found. I had already gotten 2 from there. They had a lot of different neat varieties. This one was Duchess de Nemours. I'd actually never heard of that peony before, but it was so beautiful. Then I found their stash of Supertunias, or proven winners plants. They had magenta and royal velvet and Supertunia blue skies. And I know it seems kind of late in the season for Supertunias and Superbells, but you all have to remember I am zone 9B here, and we still have about 4 months left of frost-free weather. So Supertunias and Superbells are still perfectly fine to plant. So that's probably why they're still there, and I love them. I found these Asiatic lilies that were so pretty and just reminded me that I need to plant the bulbs this spring. I bought some last year, but I never actually got them in the ground, but they're so pretty. And then speaking of cooler weather annuals, I was reading that this Scaevola does really well in cooler weather. So I was thinking that that might be a nice like fall or early winter combination, the Scaevola with some of those Supertunias. So I'll be thinking about that. I found these iceberg trees, iceberg rose standards, so pretty. And I know iceberg roses, at least around me, they're kind of like a generic plant, kind of like daylilies are. And they're in parking lots and shopping centers and different things like that. But I'm just finding myself drawn to them after seeing them at Park Winters in Winters, seeing them in his garden that I absolutely loved, and he swears by them, and so I was just tempted. I found another Hebe. I found this at Lowe's the other day as well, and I was confused onto what variety they were selling, and it turns out that it is the Andersonii variety that gets 6 to 9 feet tall. So I'm really glad I didn't buy it, because I do not have space for a shrub that gets 6 to 9 feet tall. Okay, awesome. For an unplanned stop, that was fantastic. So I am super happy with those vincas. I've never been drawn to vincas before. They're such the everyday flower. They always have them as annuals, and I'm never really drawn to them. But for some reason, when I was there, I was like, oh, that's perfect. So that's kind of what I was looking for the gated garden bed, is I was looking for something that really spoke to me. So we will see how they do in that garden bed. It says full sun. I'm just not super familiar with them, so I don't know how they'll do. So we'll see, but I think they're gorgeous. So right down the street is another Green Acres. Green Acres is the garden center that I normally go to, but I usually go to the one in Elk Grove. They have like 5 or 6 of them around the greater Sacramento area, and sometimes if you go to different ones, you can find different things there. Something might have sold out at one place, and then there's more selection at another place. So I'm just trying this other place to see if I can find any, and I feel like now I have a clear direction on where I want to take that gated garden bed. So I feel like I might be able to find what I need, and then we can go home and we can plant. All right, let's go. Okay, I am here at Green Acres, and I'm having another really good shopping day. So I found more of the vincas, so I grabbed a couple of those. I'm sure I have plenty, but I just want to make sure I fill out the whole garden bed. And then in that spot with the loropetalum that I'm taking out, I wanted to get something with some structure, kind of like a ball structure. So I've been walking around here and kind of looking around, and I found 2 options, and I cannot decide between the 2. Let me show you. Okay, so here's my shopping cart for Green Acres. I think it's looking really good. You can see I found some more white vinca there that look really pretty. They're actually cheaper here than they were at Home Depot, but I feel like the cells are a little bit smaller. I'll have to take them home and compare and see. So I got a couple more 6-packs of those just to make sure I filled out the area. Sorry about the shadows. Then I found these 2 balls. So this one is an arborvitae, and it's called Danica. And what it says is it's 2x2, which I think would be perfect in that spot. And it says it's a smaller version than the popular Hetz Midget Arborvitae, which I actually I'm not even familiar with that one. But I really like the softness of it, and I think it's really, really pretty. This one is called Beach Ball Pittosporum, which I thought was really pretty as well. They had the golf ball pittosporum, but it just got a little bit bigger than this one. And so I felt like this one would be a better size for that spot right there. It is a slow grower, but I can be patient. It will be fine. You can see growth rate is slow right there. But it gets 3 to 4 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide, full sun to part shade. So I can't decide between the 2, but what I'm thinking right now is I'll grab both of them and then find one to go in the gated garden bed, and then the other one can go in my cottage garden bed, which I wanted some structure like this as well. Because honestly, I can't decide. I don't know which ones. I was about to call Jason and ask him and see what he thought, but I'm sure he won't. He won't have an opinion on this. I'm leaning towards this one going in the gated garden bed because I think it'll be about twice the size of that one, and I think it's a little bit better size-wise. I wish I could find an arborvitae that was that size. I just can't find one right now. Anyway, all right, so I'll keep looking, but I think that this is what I'm going to end up with at Green Acres. Okay, one more purchase. I couldn't pass this up. This is it's an agapanthus, and it is called Lily of the Nile Storm Cloud. And I usually am not in love with agapanthus. It's just so common around in this area, but I usually see it in this color, which is it's fine. It's just kind of whatever. But I do have a neighbor down the street that has them in this color, and every time I drive by when they're blooming in the late summer, fall, I am like, oh, I love it. I just love the deep purpliness of this. So, yeah, I'm gonna get this one too. Okay, so I am back at home. I have been working hard. I am actually dripping with sweat right now. It is about 100 degrees, and I do not know why I'm out here in the middle of the day. I think I'm gonna have to put a hold on this just because I'm so hot until later this evening. So what I did is I cleaned up this whole space, particularly the Helen von Stein Lamsier. I went in there and I took out as much of the dead underneath as I could. And even in this one over here, I actually took out one whole plant that I actually had divided last year because I wanted more of them, and then I realized that was too much. It was just crowding on the Mystic Spires Blue Salvia. It was just a little too much. I cleaned up the Mystic Spires Blue Salvia, and I kind of took out all the extra dirty mulch and all that kind of stuff, and I think it looks gorgeous. So I was trying to fit in the agapanthus, I was trying to fit in the pittosporum, and I was trying to put all 3 right here, and then I just realized I was doing the same thing again. I was trying to cram too many things in because I want too many things in. And I just have to remember, I think that this garden bed is asking to be simplified. So I put the arborvitae, the Danica arborvitae right there, and I think that it's going to be perfect. It gets 2 by 2, so it's going to get, like here to here. So it's just going to start covering the landscape rock, and it's just going to kind of fill in this area right there. And it's going to be an evergreen, which is fantastic. Actually, my Helen von Stein right here do act like an evergreen. They do keep their leaves all winter. They will kind of die back a little bit, and they won't look as like vigorous or happy as they do right now, but they still do keep some leaves. So I'm still going to have the silvery blue of the Helen von Stein during the winter, and then I'll have this bright green of the Arborvitae. The Mystic Spires blue salvia does not stay here. I cut it back to about 6 inches over winter, so I won't have that. And then obviously I won't have the limelight. But I think that this is what this bed is asking for, and this is really hard for me. I'm just sitting here staring at it because I'm trying to figure out what to do, and I just have to remind myself I went into this project telling myself to simplify, and that's what I need to do. So I think I'm just going to put this one plant right there, and then I will fill in with all the white vinca, and I think it'll look gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to go get inside and get in the AC right now because I'm not even going to show you my face because I am dripping with sweat, and I will come back out a little bit later this evening once it cools off a bit. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this time of the evening. So it is 7 p.m. It is still 96 degrees, which is absolutely ridiculous. But over the next hour, it's supposed to drop to 89. So I feel like I can work in this heat, especially because the sun is over on the other side. So it's not, beating down on me. I could not cool down after I went inside this afternoon. I had to take a cold shower because I could not cool my body down. I just have to remind myself that when it gets that hot, I just have to go inside. I just keep pushing it. So that's all right. I feel much better now. I got everything laid out, and I think it looks gorgeous. Doesn't that look pretty? So all the vincas are still in their 6-pack, so I'm still going to kind of spread them out a little bit nicer, but I do have the Arborvitae. They're right there. I have my Sure Start that I'm going to use to plant that, and I'll probably use the Sure Start for all of those. Maybe I'll use the continuous release fertilizer. I think maybe I'll use the Proven Winners continuous release fertilizer. I think that they'll like that type of food better. That type of food works really well with heat. So I think that they'll get more out of that than the Sure Start. But I will use the Sure Start for the Danica Arborvitae. Jason is coming out to help me, which is so nice. He felt bad for me today because he saw how hot I was when I went inside. So he said that he would come out and help me this evening just so I can beat the light, because the light is going down. The sun is going to set in an hour and 15 minutes. So I am racing against the clock now. This has been kind of a whirlwind kind of day, but that's okay. Those are fun days. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so hiccup already, but I had to show you all. So I guess before we moved in, I don't even think the last owner, I think the owner before that, they had big redwood trees in this front yard. And I always talk about this area right here because I always run into redwood roots whenever I'm digging. So Jason started digging this hole, and I don't know if you guys can see this. There's one side of the root, and then there's the other side of the root. Look at that. Let's see how far it goes. That big. So I think we'll move the Arborvitae like here. It is the next morning. I ran out of light, but I kept working. I kept working until it was pitch black out here. It was so funny. I was like, oh, I can get 2 more minutes in, 2 more minutes in. And then it got to the point where I literally couldn't see anything. So luckily I got all the plants planted. I did not get the irrigation done and I did not get the mulch down, but I wanted to show you all this because I want to get this video up and out. And I will get that irrigation and mulching done very soon, probably later today. So let me show you all what I did. Okay, and here it is. It's getting a little late in the morning, so I'm getting a little bit of shadow. Hopefully you guys can see it okay. So I didn't end up planting the agapanthus. I didn't end up planting the pittosporum. I do have this arborvitae here. I think it is so cute. It's just the tiniest little thing. Like it's about, okay, so it's like about 1 foot in diameter, maybe a little less right now, but it's supposed to get up to 2 feet. So it's gonna come all the way out to the rock. And I think it's just perfect. I'm really happy that I went simple here. Again, I was trying to stuff too much stuff in yesterday. And by the end of the day, I thought, okay, this was totally the right choice. So simplifying in the garden is a tough thing for me, but I need to work on it. I need to learn how to do it a little bit better because I just think it looks so pretty. So then I got the vinca in. All this white vinca. I, of course, over purchased. I still have almost a full flat left. So, and then I was looking at the tags of these and you're supposed to plant them 10 to 12 inches apart. So I way overdid it, but I think it looks so pretty like this. I think it's just going to be this swath of white once it all grows together. I'll be really interested to see how long the vinca lasts for me. Like I said, I've never grown this as an annual before, so I'll be interested to watch it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it over the winter and I'm going to see if it comes back for me in the spring. I kind of doubt it, but you know, you never know. So I'll just see what we can do. So I just started it over here next to this rock, kind of brought it all the way out. I kept it away from the edge of the sidewalk because I really like the breathing room this gives. It's going to look so much better once I get some black mulch down or more fresh mulch down. But right now I kind of just brought it around here, brought it around this rock. Of course, once the arborvitae gets bigger, I won't be able to have as much around there. But for now, I kind of just brought it over there and then all the way up around here and around the limelight. And I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. I left my hose out. Ignore that. Okay, so I think that is it for today's video. That video ended up being a lot longer than I had planned, a lot more components, including the Home Depot tour and going to multiple garden centers and planting this up. I'm so happy with the garden bed though. I think it looks so good. I'm glad I got it done this week. That was my goal. And then things kept distracting me and I kept doing other things, all great things, right? All fun things, but I'm glad I got it done. I'm really happy I did. So thank you all so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.